Here in the camp, they get the rice for free. Gano Tamang and his family have taken refuge in a park in the middle of the Nepalese capital of Kathmandu. His house is nearby, but it was destroyed in the earthquake. Now he, his wife, his son, and his son's family are living in this improvised tent. Some tarps and wooden slats offer protection from the frequent rain. Gano Tamang is worried about his granddaughter. She's running a fever. Gano blames the poor sanitary conditions in the camp. There are very few toilets, so many are forced to relieve themselves outdoors. Nearby are the tents where everyone is sleeping, eating, and drinking.
She's not doing well. She's burning up, and she doesn't want to eat.
She got sick yesterday. Something's wrong with the water we get here. We get water delivered to the camp, but it's never enough for everyone. Yesterday I finally got some, and now my baby is sick.
Rumi Tamang isn't feeling well either. The announcement over the loudspeaker says there's another water delivery. Gano Tamang and his daughter-in-law, Rumi, go there right away. There's one bottle of water for each person. By the time they arrive, there's already a long line.
Do we really want to stand in line? You're not feeling well.
It's too hot to stand here in line, and they'll run out before we get to the front anyway.
Instead, they pay a visit to what is left of their house. Gano Tamang usually drives a taxi. There's no point in doing that now. Almost all the tourists left after the earthquake. So he has no income right now. And the only money he has is what little was in his pocket when the earthquake hit.
I was in my car when the earth began to shake. I've never felt anything like that before. I could barely keep the car on the road. I was worried about my family and drove home right away. Fortunately, my wife and the children were already outside, but not my mother-in-law. Some people helped me rescue her from the house. Thank God she's alive. I'll go visit her later.
The house is only 15 minutes away, but it's a tiring walk for both of them. They haven't had anything to drink yet today. A shopkeeper from the neighborhood gives them 2 soft drinks. Gano Tamang is grateful, especially because this kind of generosity is rare at this time.
I think they should distribute things for free right now, but the exact opposite is happening. Right after the earthquake, people were selling cell phones at prices that were much higher than normal. That led to tension around here. Then the military forced the sellers to leave. They're not allowed to sell anything near the camps anymore.
They walk past buildings that still look relatively intact from the outside, but Gano Tamang says it's a very different picture behind the walls. This is where some neighbors lived. Some bodies still lie buried underneath the rubble. At the end of the street is where Gano Tamang lived with his wife, children, grandchildren, and mother-in-law. They had rented a 3-room apartment. He's back now for the first time since the earthquake. It's already clear the entire building will have to be torn down. Gano Tamang's neighbors are digging through the rubble, hoping to find some of their possessions: pots, photographs, clothing, and anything that might still be usable. They're all waiting for help from the government. The neighbors say not one official has been here yet. The building's owner is here.
How are you doing? I've heard there's a lot of theft right now, and the rain must be making things hard too. Are you managing here on your own?
We lost everything we had. Even with the rain, we're living outside, here among the rubble. A lot of things are missing. Maybe they were stolen, I don't know. And the government isn't doing much. We haven't received any help yet. But at least the people in the neighborhood give us food every morning and evening.
Around the corner, Gano Tamang bumps into another neighbor. Her house is still standing, but it's shifted to the side several centimeters. In spite of that, some families are still living there.
We just came back. I'm going to try to rescue a few things from my apartment. And here we have water and a way to wash our clothes.
The old royal palace is nearby. Gano Tamang was always proud of his city's cultural heritage, and the temple complex also drew many visitors to Kathmandu. He made his living from the tourists. Now he can hardly believe what's before his eyes. The world-famous Durbar Square has been reduced to rubble. It's hard to imagine it could ever be rebuilt. The palace complex dates back to the 12th century. It was also an important meeting point for Gano Tamang and his family.
I've lived here for 55 years now. My children grew up here. I come here every weekend with my friends and family. We loved having tea here together in the evening. It's so sad right now. Our entire cultural and historical legacy has been lost. So many valuable statues have been destroyed. It's enough to make me cry.
His mother-in-law has found refuge in a small temple. Shanta Maya is 102 years old. She's here with a few friends, and they don't want to leave.
102 years.
How are you?
Well, you can see.
Did you have breakfast?
Yes.
Yes, she's getting something to eat. Now, what's wrong? Are you in pain?
Yes, and I can't stop shaking.
She's in pain. And your asthma. How's your asthma?
I'm having trouble breathing.
She has asthma.
I have a headache, and my legs hurt. I can barely walk, and I've had a fever since the earthquake. The doctors didn't find anything.
The elderly women say they want to stay in the temple, near the gods. Gano Tamang's mother-in-law suddenly pulls out a few more face masks. She says that people are warning of epidemics. They should wear masks to protect themselves. It's evening, and they have to return to the camp. The next morning, Gano Tamang is even more worried. His daughter-in-law, Rumi, now has a fever too. He's already tried to get some medicine, but there's nothing to be had. They both believe the water is to blame. He tries to comfort her. Gano Tamang has heard that a German aid organization is about to start distributing water. He heads out. He's heard they're at the local waterworks, not far away. Ten minutes later, he finds the courtyard where the German Technical Relief Agency has set up a drinking water facility. It aims to supply 30,000 people with water each day, once it gets up and running. But right now, an EU commissioner is here for the opening, and there's a crowd of journalists. It's a different world here for the moment. But a few minutes later, the press event is done. The commissioner is gone, and Gano can fill his canister. They're assured the water is clean.
I'm so happy to finally get some water for free. That's very important for us right now. I'm going to go back to the camp and tell everyone there's clean water here.
For the moment, that's one less problem. Now Gano Tamang is trying to find a better place for his family to live. A real tent, a bit larger and sturdier. They'll be living there for the foreseeable future.